turn the friggin' frogs gay. Turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Getting started soon. Toss any cool links to stories into the Discord. Where's Waldo? Oh hi KBP.
Oh, hi. Hello. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and I'm here to feel the politics with you. How's everybody doing tonight? I am doing great. I got hit by 2 bots right at startup. I don't know if that means that I'm being getting better or being more out there. I don't know. I'm going to take this as a sign of my success. 2 different robots saying the same thing came in. You can watch it on the VOD, whatnot, to try and sell me their services because clearly I've hit the big time. I am important, and people are trying to get my attention. It's probably not what that means, but that's what I'm going to say.
People have also been trying to assassinate you as well.
Oh, okay. The Stream Jedi just told me people have been trying to assassinate me, but don't worry, he's going to keep me safe.
What brand of eyeliner does JD use?
Well, we're going to talk about that. If you have a look at the wonderful title that I came up with tonight, making up fun lies about JD Vance, I want us to do that tonight. I really do. I want to make up a bunch of crazy, off-the-wall, nonsensical lies that we'll talk about as if they're true. I've got a whole list of them. I typed up. I spent all day typing them up. It was a very fun time. And the eyeliner will come up. This will be an important plot point for later, because spoiler. And this is I'm not. This isn't a spoiler. This is a hook to keep you watching. He doesn't use eyeliner. He doesn't. What could it be? Well, you just have to watch and find out later. See, I'm hooking you and making you stick around to watch the rest of the show. So yeah, hi. How's it going? Let's see. We today is Tuesday, which is not my usual day, I know, but I had some very important stuff to do last night, so I went and did that, and then I moved it over to Tuesday and Thursday this week. So this week, Tuesday headlines. Sorry, it's Guyliner. I know. Well, we're going to dispel the rumors. Was what we're going to do tonight. We're going to dispel the rumors about Guyliner and tell you exactly what it actually is. So yeah, Tuesday headlines. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to try and change up the stream a little bit just so I can I'm not going to stream tomorrow. What I'm saying is I'm going to try and get a better audio robot. I know we all hear the wonderful Lady Canooch right here and right now, but as we saw on last stream, she's not very reliable.
Canooch.
She's not very reliable. And what happens is anytime I change a setting, I have to fight tooth and nail to get it back. So I'm going to try and investigate to make a better option for myself. And maybe it'll work better. Maybe then I can turn it on and off in the middle of a stream, or I can change it up in the middle of the stream, or I could get a Scottish version, which is what I want. More than anything, I want a Scottish version that we could just turn on anytime I feel like it, and that would be fun for me. I don't care if it's good for you. It makes me happy.
You're not paying her enough.
I'm not paying her. I know I'm not paying her anything right now, and that's okay, because she doesn't deserve it, because she's so flippant. She's so topsy-turvy. Sometimes she's here, sometimes she's not. She is not consistent at all. So it's a team thing. Do you think if I paid her more, she would work harder? I don't think she would. I think she would just take the money and keep doing the subpar job that she is doing now. This is not acceptable. This is not okay. I need better. So I'm going to go work on stuff like that tomorrow. Then, yeah, headlines Wednesday night. No, I'm sorry. Headlines Thursday night. Usually I do Monday, Wednesday, but I'll do headlines on Thursday night. Then maybe, if I have the time, another dwarf stream on Friday morning. I had a good time with that last time. And then Saturday, usual philosophy stream. So that's the plan. That's this week. That's a good time. Hop into any one of those chats if you want. And make some stuff up about JD Vance. This is going to be fun. Hit me with any wild idea you've got. I've got a few ready to go, but if you have a made-up lie about JD Vance, just post it in the chat, because that's how the system works now. It's okay. He makes things up about Haitian people and gets to say it on CNN. We get to make things up about him and put it in chat. It'll be a good time. There are no rules anymore, it seems. So we'll just do that, and nothing can stop us. If anybody complains, we'll scream about the First Amendment and call them a fascist. It'll be a good time. So let's look at the headlines. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and get started with this super fun thing that I'm already working on it. JD was very upset when he heard Ashley Madison wasn't associated with Ashley's Furniture. Okay. Well, he filled out that. Is that why he did the Ashley Madison account? Is that what it is? I mean, that makes sense almost. Window capture. Why aren't you on properly? Boop. There it is. All right. No, immigrants aren't eating your pets, but Vance says the lie was worth it. That's good. Donald Trump and JD Vance have crossed all the lines in their war on the truth. It was a classic Kinsley gaffe, whereas politicians accidentally tell the truth. Republican vice presidential nominee JD Vance admitted to CNN's Dana Bash on Sunday that he and former President Donald Trump have been pushing false tales about Haitian immigrants eating pets in Springfield, Ohio, to gin up the media coverage on immigration. He defended himself by saying these things about the city and the state where he represents in the U.S. Senate by insisting he had a really good excuse for pushing the canard. The American media totally ignored the stuff until Donald Trump and I started talking about cat memes. If I have to create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do. He added, failing to mention that the false narrative was intended to advance his electoral goals. So, yeah, we're going to listen to him say it specifically. The lie was worth it because stochastic terrorism. Yeah, Stable Genius, super cool guys. I'm so glad that they're running the show. Let's listen to him actually say it. Here we go. 2 minutes. Ready, go.
Just once and for all, you again started this in part by saying that, at which Donald Trump repeated on the debate stage, that, and he didn't say anything about the policies that you're talking about. He just said Haitians are eating dogs and cats. Can you affirmatively say now that that is a rumor that has no basis with evidence?
She's stumbling over her words there. She's trying really hard not to directly call him a liar because she's a wiener. The media is not some Soros-paid left-wing super organizations. They aren't allowed to call him a liar right to his face because then they won't get invited into the back rooms where they can do the interviews. They won't get interviews anymore. They won't get invited to the White House press corps. So they have to be very nice and they have to be very cordial and they have to be very calm and say many, 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 many complicated words to suggest that he is a liar.
Dana, the evidence is the first-hand account of my constituents who are telling me that this happened. And by the way,
he was told by somebody that it happened. So it's gotta be true.
I've been trying to talk about the problems in Springfield for months, and the American media ignored it. There was a congressional hearing just last week of angel moms who lost children because Kamala Harris let criminal migrants into this country who then murdered their children. The American media totally ignored this stuff until Donald Trump and I started talking about cat memes. If I have to, create stories so that
I have to create stories, he says.
American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do.
Her brain is registering. You can see the things going through her head that you created the story.
Dana, because you guys are completely letting Kamala Harris coast. You had one interview with her. You talk about pushing back against me, Dana. You didn't push back against the fact that she cast the deciding vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which is why a lot of Americans can't afford food and housing.
You just said that you're creating a story.
Public policy.
And then we get a slight pause where he's like, wait, what did I say?
Sir, you just said that you're creating the story.
What's that, Dana?
You just said that this is a story that you created. So the eating dogs and cats thing is not
accurate. Dana, it comes from first-hand accounts from my constituents. I say that we're creating a story, meaning we're creating the American media focusing on it. I didn't create 20,000 illegal migrants coming.
They are legal migrants. He is incorrect here, factually incorrect. I thought his side cared about facts and logic, but they are not illegal immigrants.
Into Springfield, thanks to Kamala Harris's policies. Her policies did that, but yes, we created the actual focus that allowed the American media to talk about this story and the suffering caused by Kamala Harris's policies.
We created the focus on the story. Hey, bowling fan, thanks for coming. We're making up fake things about JD Vance. It's apparently acceptable today to just make things up and lie to the media. So if you've got any fake things to say about JD Vance, by all means, hop in the chat. Tell me some lies about him. It's going to be great. It's going to be cool. And if anybody gives us any grief, we'll just say that it's our First Amendment right and that they're being anti-free speech. So, yeah, he created the issue. So he is going to defend himself and say, oh, well, I just pointed it out and brought it up. Just started passing these beams around so you guys would pay attention. I would suggest, no, he is lying. The facts have suggested that this isn't happening. But he doesn't care about facts, does he? No. It's not. It didn't happen, bowling fan. It's a lie. The Springfield, Ohio thing didn't actually happen. The eating of the cats and dogs, it didn't happen. It's a lie told by JD Vance. And he just said that he created the story. He said created the story. When I created the story, if I need to create the story, that's what he said. And so I'm going to talk about and report on the things that people are telling me, the people in my chat. I'm just listening to my constituents within chat. And if I have to create stories so that you, the streaming population, actually pay attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do.
Frog's gay.
Ponathan, just subscribed for a 6th month in a row. Oh my goodness. You've turned another frog gay. It's 6 frogs now. You are in the lead of frog turning gays. It's very cool. I appreciate that very much, sir. Did I move the chat down? I think I did. Hang on. You can't see the bottom of chat, and that's, it looks okay. You get to vote for Trump now. You get to, I suppose. Anywho, what was I saying? Yeah. We had a Stone Age, we had a Bronze Age, we had an Iron Age, we had a Space Age, we had an Information Age. We have left the information age and have entered the misinformation age. All human knowledge is somewhere on the internet. But that's boring nerd shit. Nobody cares. Information does not get you clicks. Information does not get you retweets. So we need to jazz it up. We need to make some misinformation. So hop in the chat. Give me some misinformation. I'll start it off by telling you that JD Vance has 3 elbows. It's a complicated medical diagnosis, and I am not a doctor, not since the incident anyway, but I feel like a doctor, and I identify as one. So I'm qualified to give you my feelings and opinions on the matter. JD Vance has 3 elbows, and the third one is not where you think it would be. Waldo, there's literally body cam footage and pictures of these Haitians eating cats and dogs. One was holding one. That's fake. Bowling fan, I'm not kidding when I tell you. That man worked for the National Park Service and was picking up animals that were hit by cars. It's his job to pick up roadkill. That was his job. That's what he's supposed to do. And the people that you trust are lying to you about it. He is hired by the state to clean the roads. I'm lying. It's his job to clean things. These geese got hit by cars, and he was cleaning them up. Join the Discord. Yeah. So stop being lied to, the bowling fan. So what other lies can we think of about JD Vance? He sleeps nude in an oxygen tent because he believes that it gives him sexual powers. And if you got that joke and you know where that's from, you have to give me a thumbs up. Those are the rules. There are Shinsinto, you brought it up earlier about his very beautiful smoky eyes, suggesting that he is wearing guy eyeliner. It's not true, okay? That's not true. I'm here to dispel the fictions, okay? Tanning his balls on the reg, yeah, he does. JD Vance is going to be a great, he's going to be a great president. No, he's a bad guy. The dark color around his eyes is singed skin and eyelashes because of his eyeball lasers. He can, in fact, shoot flaming laser beams from his eyes. And in a selfless effort on his part, he only uses those lasers to break up asteroids that are coming too close to Earth. Now, bowling fan and some people might be thinking, Waldo, if he saves us from deep impact Armageddon asteroid strikes, doesn't that make him a good guy? And shouldn't I vote for him? No, because there's more to the story. His beard is enchanted to draw in the asteroids, so it's a push. He could shave the beard and stop attracting asteroids, but he won't, because his sugar daddy, Peter Thiel, actually wants to mine those asteroids for precious, precious coal. This is why JD Vance and the Republicans usually have this obsession over West Virginia coal miners. Republicans know that coal mining is a dangerous and old-fashioned 17th century job. So they're going to bring it into the future. And his stated policy is to retrain all of the coal miners in the Appalachian states to become asteroid coal miners. That's the plan. This is legitimate. Yeah, you believe it. Exactly. We're making up lies, bowling fan. This is the fun part. You just make up all kinds of stuff. So hop in the chat. Tell me a few lies. But where, Waldo, did the eyeball lasers come from? Well, that's a leprechaun curse. JD Vance was cursed by leprechauns, which are not real. We all know that. But he filibustered the Senate until they begrudgingly passed the leprechaun anti-immigration bill. We all remember him being on TV. You saw it. I saw it. We all watched him on TV complaining about the leprechauns and the fact that they were eating unicorns in Ponyville. We all know this happened. We have evidence of it. We have seen video and photos shared on Twitter of him complaining about the unicorns that were being eaten in Ponyville by the leprechauns. The bill barely passed, thanks Obama, but now the fictional leprechauns are not allowed to eat the fictional unicorns. This has enraged the leprechaun population of Florida, and they placed this curse on him. It's very complicated. Let me see. Have you ever felt that weird feeling that you're not alone in your own home? That's JD Vance spying on you through his Palantiri seeing stone. JD Vance is not allowed to set foot in the state of Montana. No one knows why. The media isn't asking the important questions about these things that I made up. Okay? Why isn't the media asking him these questions about things that I made up? He also does some very disturbing race play with his wife. He uses all the slurs, and I'm not allowed to say them on stream, but they're really old ones from like the 16th century. It is incredibly disturbing. Nobody uses them anymore, but they just fell out of fashion. Nobody talks like that anymore. And she's into it. She is down hard for it. The people need to be informed about this misinformation that I have. Okay? And the fact that no one is talking about it drives me nuts. Yes, it's crazy. It is, bowling fan, it is crazy to make things up and talk about how untrue the things are. Yeah, you're good. So am I. I'm broadcasting this. The important things, it's important that we talk about this. You might be upset with me for putting out this scathing and true hit piece or making things up. But it's important that we talk about this. JD Vance will lie to you, and he has. But Waldo, don't all the politicians lie? Well, sure. But JD Vance is doing something different. He's doing something worse. He is lying about the poorest of us. He's lying about poor people who left their homeland legally and properly because it was failing and could not sustain them. Our government, legally and properly, brought them in and put them to work, making their lives better, making our country better. That is literally the American dream. That is exactly what our government ought to be doing. But JD Vance is lying about them because of the color of their skin. He is lying about them intentionally at this point because they don't look like the Americans he wants to see. Worst case scenario, he is a bigot and does not deserve power and does not deserve your vote. Best case scenario, he isn't actually a bigot, but thinks you are. And see, that's how we make a YouTube video. I turn that into a YouTube video, and that'll be on the channel tomorrow. It'll be a good time. But you got to see it first, you see. So hop into chat and tell me what else we got. Or the hoax about the second Trump shooter. Yeah, there you go. See, we can make some stuff up. You realize that's what we feel like when we hear the same stupid shit from Trump and his cultists? Yeah, exactly. Shinsento's giving you some, he's talking to you, bowling fan. When JD Vance and Trump say things that are so completely disconnected from reality, that's how we feel. Bro, this is crazy. He can't possibly be talking about people eating cats and dogs. And then we look into it and we find out that it isn't true. And none of it happened. And because we find, and then we have to talk about it. And then the news tells us all about it. And then we're like, man, it didn't happen. And then the news tells us it didn't happen. And the JD Vance says, yes, it did. And then the news says, no, it didn't. And then we go looking, and then the worst people on the internet start faking photos. Somebody tried to get $5,000 from some right-wing grifter. Some right-wing grifter was offering $5,000 for video evidence. And they sent video evidence of a man cooking chicken in his backyard on a grill. And they were like, look, there it is. It's the cats. And I was like, man, that's a chicken. Last time I checked, cooking chicken on your backyard grill is totally cool. Usually that's okay. But they're doing this intentionally, willingly, knowingly, making things up, telling you lies, because it makes you fearful. And if you're fearful, you will follow them. He creates the chaos. JD Vance is intentionally and willingly creating chaos so that he can offer you the solution to chaos, which is him, and a vote for him and a vote for Trump. But they are the chaotic side. They are clearly and obviously the more chaotic group. I saw one making the rounds that was Lamb and not even taken in Ohio. Yeah, exactly. And then we got, bowling fan brought up earlier. That guy was a member of the wildlife thing. He worked for the state, removing dead wildlife from the roads. So what else do we have? Yeah, I think it suggests that we don't have any rules anymore. Honestly, JD Vance can just hop onto the news, say whatever he wants, and 30 to 40% of the country just believes it. Hey, Carolinas, how you doing? I got the Dark Asso on the last stream. It was cool. Very difficult. So yeah, he just gets to go on the news, say whatever he wants, and a lot of people are going to believe it. Doesn't matter if it's true. Doesn't matter if it's real. And he's hoping that enough bigots hear it and then support him. That's it. He wants your support. He needs your votes. At the moment, he still needs votes. Donald Trump wins, they might rearrange the entire government to where they don't need votes anymore. And he can't get those votes the normal way. A functioning society has no room for Republicans. Republicans can't win if everything's functioning properly. So they have to create dysfunction. They have to pass bills that make things worse. They have to jam up the works. They have to gum up the processes. They have to slow things down. They have to shut things off. They have to crush all of this function so that they can point at all of this dysfunction and claim that they can solve it. Well, they caused it. And that's the situation we're in again and again and again in this damn country. Conservatives cause problems. Then they go on to the stump speech and say, look at all those problems. Vote for me so I can stop all the problems that they caused. There was another failed vote for IVF protections today. The IVF protections failed again in the Senate because all of the Dems voted yes and all of the Republicans voted no. And the only reason that law needs to be in effect, the only reason they need to pass this IVF law is because Roe versus Wade got wrecked by the last Republican. So a Republican wrecked Roe v. Wade. The Republicans are wrecking the protection for IVF today. It was a Republican judge that killed IVF in Alabama. Republicans cause chaos, then promise you that they're the only ones who can get rid of all the chaos. And I don't know why anybody falls for it. But we're supposed to be worried about trans people in sports. Yeah, exactly. They're pointing out chaos. To go into the trans debate, they passed laws that made it harder for trans people to exist in public in the states. Barack Obama then passed federal law to overwrite the legal bigotry that they created in those Republican states. Then they start screaming bloody murder about that. Oh, that's chaos. Now there's chaos. Now we don't know who's allowed to go into what bathroom and stuff like that, and what the laws happen to be. Same with abortion. We don't know what the laws are. Nobody knows, because you have caused chaos. You have made the things less serviceable. You have made the things less functional. If our society functioned, Republicans would never win. I watched the Rich Hat left a long drawn out comment in the video, and it got deleted. Oh, was it too long or something? YouTube comments are like that sometimes. They do weird things. Sometimes they don't show up. It's a weird medium, but I can always look back at it. Or you can hop into the Discord and send me individual messages. That's cool too. The Discord messages never get deleted. I suppose, make a gaming channel on there. Game debates or game talk or something like that. That would be fun. I could do that. I will do that tomorrow. Not right now. I'm busy. So what other headlines do we have tonight? Where's the button? There's the button. Ciao. Here we go. Overseas threats hit the Ohio City where Trump and Vance lied about Haitians eating pets. So it's not just that they're making things up. It's not just that they're endangering human lives of these people, these poor people who don't have any control, very little control over their lives. They lived in Haiti. Haiti was falling apart and damaged by storms every 5 minutes. We brought them over here. They agreed to come over here, and we put them. They didn't get to choose Springfield, Ohio. They were put there because it was the government said, "Hey, we're building a factory. Some company is building a factory there. We would like you to staff it and work there, and then you can become American citizens through these steps, and your children will become American citizens through birthright citizenship." This is a great plan for them. They didn't exactly choose it. They didn't choose to be born in a dangerous, storm-ridden place. They didn't choose to have their livelihoods destroyed by the weather. And they didn't choose Springfield, and they didn't choose which jobs were available there. But they're doing the best they can. They're living the American dream. But because they don't look like you, JD Vance wants you to be afraid of them. Be afraid of the people who look different than you. Be afraid of the people who are not like you. They might do or say things or smell funny. They didn't come over here illegally. Exactly. They didn't cross a border illegally. Our government brought them here properly and through the correct channels because we wanted to. This is everything that's supposed to happen. They've done everything right. And JD Vance will lie and call them illegal immigrants. Donald Trump will lie and call them illegal immigrants because they don't care about what's true. They don't care about what's right. They will simply say whatever gets their base riled up so that they will vote for him. So let's read this one. Ohio State Police at Springfield schools Tuesday in response to a rash of bomb threats. So now we're wasting police time and money. I'm sure that's fun. The vast majority of officials said came from overseas. So overseas bomb threats. Schools, government buildings, and elected official homes in Springfield were among the targets of more than 30 hoax threats made last week that forced evacuations and closures. 2 more schools had to be evacuated on Monday, and the high school was threatened on Tuesday. Governor Mike DeWine said a foreign actor was largely responsible, but he declined to name the country. It was Russia. We know it was Russia. It's not a surprise. We're not surprised by that. It was definitely Russia because they benefit from our animosity. If our left is fighting the center and our center is fighting the right, Russia wins. They want us to slam into each other. This is what they want from us. This is why they bankroll so many Republicans and people on the left who are challenging the Dems. The what's his name? Cornel West might have taken some Russian money. Jill Stein definitely taking Russian money because they want chaos. They, being Russia, also benefit from chaos. So they cause as much of it as they can. They're just spreading it around. They just pay Ivan to put in a bomb threat toward the Ohio Springfield school. Let's see. Even with dozens of Ohio State Highway Patrol officers fanning out to protect the Springfield City School District 18 schools, many parents opted to keep their children at home. At one elementary school, some 200 students were absent Tuesday out of a population of 500. Yeah, exactly. Silly Ivan, he's so crazy. I know. There's still a high level of fear due to these unfounded threats and hoaxes that have marred our existence, really for going on a week now. Well, that's a thing. So, hang on. Let me get out of here, Bill Crystal. No one looks to you. No one wants to talk to you. So I don't know if you heard, but we got some of those bomb threats in Texas. Really, just out of the blue. Was it a Russian guy saying that it's because of the Haitians or something? That's a weird. They swung and they missed. Man, like you shoot for the moon but land in Texas. Like yeah. So okay, yeah. I don't know if you heard, but there was another attempted assassination on Donald Trump this week, a couple of days ago. Another kooky, wacky dummy. This guy was lost in the sauce. He was a bit crazy. He's really, really, really on board for Ukraine, and hates Russia. So I don't think he was a right-wing Trump voter. I mean, he said he voted for Trump. Let's just read the thing. He did say he voted for Trump back in 2016, but then he realized that Trump was a liar and really felt bad about it, didn't want to support him anymore, and then he went to Ukraine to try and fight the Russians. This is not a healthy dude. He has many brain issues. So that is the one thing that we can all kind of agree on, that mental health is a problem. And the fact that we can't easily obtain mental health treatment is the reason that we keep having these problems. And lots of little problems too. Like maybe claiming that Haitians are eating your dogs and your pets. They haven't said anything about who sent them, but they showed up all at the same time. Oh, interesting. If they showed up all at the same time, that would suggest that they are being coordinated, and that's who coordinates misinformation is Russia. That's what they do. They want chaos so that Donald Trump and JD Vance can climb the ladder of chaos. Even if they don't get anything out of it, Russia, if they don't specifically get anything out of it, they cause this craziness. Donald Trump blames the Dems because he's an idiot, and people who are afraid believe him and vote for him. You know, that's the plan. Probably someone failed at Google Maps. Yeah. You live in Springfield, Texas, and apparently they got the wrong address. They got the wrong phone number. It's a whole thing. Ivan doesn't know what an area code means. He's got no idea. He doesn't quite comprehend it. And after the assassination attempt, a bunch of the people on the right cried and whined. It happened because you called him a dictator. It happened because you called him a fascist. You're not allowed to say that, while at the same time saying that they are free speech absolutists who support the First Amendment. But you're not allowed, according to JD Vance, to call the former president a fascist. You're not allowed to call him an authoritarian. That is violence. But our violence on Jan 6th was simply protest. As usual, the Republicans flipped this stuff on their head. The people who broke in on Jan 6th, that's covered by the First Amendment. But you using your words, using your speech to describe correctly Donald Trump, well, that's violence. And they don't care. Ivan don't care. Putin paid him anyway. Yeah, exactly. He got his paycheck for the day. So I saw this and I thought it was interesting. You are allowed to call Donald Trump a threat to democracy. You are. Political violence is an intolerable threat to our nation. It isn't the only one. Would-be assassins and migrant pogroms grab the headlines, but the most electorally important event this week may be the much more boring one coming tomorrow. The Federal Reserve is set to cut interest rates for the first time in 2 years. Does that mean our, economy's doing well? JD Vance wrings his hands. Again, an attempt on Donald Trump's life is foiled, thank God, by the Secret Service. And again, the question is, isn't the other side's rhetoric getting a little too extreme? JD Vance sure thinks so. Look, we can disagree with one another. We can debate one another. Trump's running mate fretted at the Georgia Faith and Freedom Coalition event yesterday, but we cannot tell the American people that one candidate is a fascist. And if he is elected, it's going to be the end of American democracy. Now, again, I talked last stream about how shockingly juxtaposition-y the Republicans are. How if they didn't have juxtapositions, they wouldn't have any positions. Is this not a perfect example of him doing one thing and saying the other? We cannot tell the American people that one candidate is a fascist. Donald Trump does that every time he's in front of a microphone. He calls Kamala a fascist. He calls her a Marxist. You can't be both. Those are two opposite ends of the political spectrum, so you cannot be both. And he has said both in the same sentence. Kamala is a fascist Marxist. Her father was a Marxist, and she is going to bring fascism, and you won't have a country left, folks. There won't be a country. It'll be gone. If they win, if these people win, you won't have a country left. It's exactly the same thing that he's saying here. JD Vance says, we cannot tell the American people that one candidate is fascist, and if elected, it's going to be the end of American democracy. It's exactly what Donald Trump does on a daily basis. But they don't care. Doesn't matter. Pointing out their hypocrisy doesn't actually matter. They love being hypocritical. They enjoy it. It's fantastic. It makes them feel good when a liberal gets mad at them and points out their hypocrisy. You have to make fun of them. And that's what I'll do. JD Vance wears eyeliner. People are walking out of Donald Trump's rallies halfway because they've heard what he has to say and they don't care anymore. And he's paying them to be there. I suspect that he is actually paying people to show up to his rallies. He's got very tiny baby hands. So maybe that'll get people to not vote for him. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. Obviously, no one objects to the idea that political chatter could be chiller, but Vance's pivot to hand-wringing about extreme rhetoric is truly shameless coming from the current GOP ticket. Under Vance's furrowed brow rules of engagement, calling a political opponent a fascist threat to democracy is way over the line, but calling an opponent a communist threat to democracy, as Trump says daily of Kamala Harris, less of an issue. He's used the word fascist to describe her before. Yeah, he called Harris being a fascist less than 2 weeks ago. In the wake of the first attempt on Trump's life, Republicans at least tried for a few moments to pivot to a less incendiary tone themselves, until Trump got bored and started ad-libbing in front of the GOP convention stage. This time they're doing both things at once, crying foul on their opponent's rhetoric while continuously, shamelessly hitting below the belt. Their rhetoric is causing me to be shot at, Trump said during a thing. These are the ones that are destroying the country, both from the inside and out. It's called the enemy from within. They are a real threat. He said that at the same time. He said, their words are causing me to be shot at. They're the ones destroying the country. I can't make it up. His brain is cooked. He is ruined. His brain does not function the way your brain does. It doesn't. He cannot be trusted with power or authority because he's too stupid to comprehend even the very simple words that he uses. And I hope that he doesn't win. Speaking to that, it's looking like he's not going to win. Oh, wait, hang on. Editor Waldo, cut that bit out. Here is the former Secretary of Defense under Donald Trump talking about Donald Trump wanting to shoot protesters.
The president is ranting at the room He's using a lot of, foul language. You all are effing losers, right? He's going to finally give a direct order to deploy paratroopers into the streets of Washington, D.C., and I'm thinking with weapons and bayonets. And this would be horrible.
What specifically was he suggesting that the U.S. military should do to these protesters?
He says, can't you just shoot them? Just shoot them in the legs or something. And he's suggesting that that's what we should do, that we should bring in the troops and shoot the protesters.
The commander-in-chief was suggesting that the U.S. military shoot protesters.
Yes, in the streets
American
of our nation's
protesters.
capital. That's right.
When a Republican does violence, it needs to be protected. When a Democrat uses their speech, it's violence. This is what they will bring you. This is the direction that they will take everything. Everything, if Donald Trump wins, will go this direction. Everything he does is right and proper and constitutional. And everything that his opponents do is illegal and unconstitutional and violent. It won't matter what is true. It won't matter what's real. That's authoritarianism that I'm describing. That's why I use the term to describe him. He is the authority. Hence, everything he says is true and correct and right. If Donald Trump tells you shit runs uphill and rain goes up, sky's green, grass is blue, then that's what's true. And he will be surrounded by people who are fascists. I usually don't call him a fascist. I call him authoritarian surrounded by fascists because I don't think that he has the authority, nor the, he doesn't have a belief structure. So the things that he's talking about are not beliefs. He just has so much narcissism within himself that he thinks he's right all the time and the best person ever. He doesn't have a belief structure. He's not building a structure of ethics the way a fascist would. Is this the time he tear gassed the protesters outside of the church and have a photo shoot? Yes, that's for them. That's it for sure. Can I send a DM on Discord instead of just a random? Yeah. Feel free to hit me up on the Discord. Absolutely. Send me DMs. I don't mind. There's a puppy dog underneath my feet. I'm going to try and trap him and grab him and put him on camera, but he might run away. Let's give it a shot. Hello, my name is Bobo, and I poop in the floor, specifically on brown rugs, so that no one can see it. It's invisible, secret poop traps. He did. He pooped in the floor this morning on a brown rug in the dark where no one could see it. Brutal. Nightmare. Monsterish. They tell me dogs are colorblind, but he knows. He knows that poo is the same color as this rug. And he does it to harm me, to mock me. He does it spitefully, just to make me feel bad. And wash my feet. Anywho, what else is going on? Oh yeah, good news. Kamala Harris might be winning. Harris soars to record 6-point lead over Trump in post-debate poll. So these guys have done some polling and they're suggesting that she might be winning, which would be nice. Kamala Harris left a 6-point lead over former President Trump in the week of last week's presidential debate, according to Morning Consult poll published Tuesday. Most polls before last Tuesday's debate saw Harris rattle Trump on a range of topics and had the pair locked in a virtual dead heat. A majority of likely voters, including 1 in 5 Republicans, believe Harris won the debate. The performance appears to be crystallizing her national lead over the former president, and Eli Yokley political analyst for Morning Consult, in an emailed statement. Her 51% of supporters among likely voters, which is also a record high, is driven largely by her best figures to date among Democrats, Biden 2020 voters, liberals, women 18 to 34-year-olds, and millennials. 1 to 10 scale. Results don't include responses. Blah, 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 blah. Trump is aiming for the bro vote. Don't be a bro. Don't be a bro vote. With appearances on podcasts at UFC fights, while Harris is appealing to young women who've been moving steadily left in recent years amid the surge of activism on issues like abortions and in the face of conservative policies. Harris enjoyed a boost moments after the debate with Taylor Swift, when Taylor Swift endorsed her on the singer's Instagram account. Yeah. So bottom line, Harris is enjoying positive news cycle among a likely electorate this year that's earning her positive marks and aligns with her best numbers yet in a head-to-head contest against Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump. Okay, so she might be taking the lead. Do we want to do the map again? I always like the map. It is a good map, and it is fun. And it is called 270 to win. Okay, yeah. Let's do the map. I love the map. The map is so much fun. All right, we're going to set it to... there's a button that I have to press. Where's the button? The button is reset map to... There we go. There we go. So this is the best guesstimates right now. The blue states are almost always blue. These red states are almost always red. That one little blue one in Nebraska is a freaky weirdo, and this little thing in Maine. So the grayish states, the tan ones, I don't know, what color is that? Beige, I guess? Yeah, beige, I think. Those are the toss-ups. So we guesstimate who is going to win which one. I think it's blatantly obvious that she wins Wisconsin, Michigan, for sure. So that puts her really close at 251. Pennsylvania is the one that matters the most. If we go with Arizona red and Nevada red, not impossible, but it could happen. They still don't win. If Trump also gets Georgia and North Carolina, he still doesn't win. He can pick up all 4 of these, and he still won't win without Pennsylvania. This is the only way that Donald Trump can win. Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. It's not impossible for him. I just don't think it's likely. It seems to me like Pennsylvania's going to go blue, and North Carolina and Georgia are going to go blue too. So we're talking 300 votes for her. That's what I think is going to happen. If Georgia goes, if North Carolina goes blue, then Georgia will as well. And then it's possible that Nevada actually goes blue as well. That puts her at 308. This is not impossible. This is entirely plausible, this map that we're looking at right now. I think I put a prediction in weeks ago. It was a little bit lower than this, but this is about right. This is what it's looking like. This is what it seems like. I think we're talking 302 to 236. If Donald Trump even takes North Carolina and Georgia, he has still lost 270 to 268. I don't think he's going to get both of these. I don't think he's going to get both of these. He's going to get one or the other. Maybe lose all 4. But even without Pennsylvania, he cannot win. He can't win without Pennsylvania. That's all there is to it. And they're on the East Coast, which means they knock that shit out pretty quickly. They're 4 hours ahead of me over on the West Coast. Even though it is the best coast, they are 4 hours ahead of me. Then what they do is their votes are going to be counted up pretty quickly, pretty early. It's not going to be the knockdown, drag out, week-long fiasco that it was last time. I think we're going to have this figured out on the night of the election. So I'll be live streaming that when it does happen in November. and watching the news with you. So make some plans to go and vote, and then, or mail in your vote like I will. When mine shows up in the next in the next 30 days or so, when mine shows up in the mail, I'm going to fill it out right here on stream with you. It'll be a good time. Then I'll send it off. And I know that'll make Donald Trump mad. It might even trigger some right-wing guys, but I think that'll be fun, triggering people by filling out my ballot live on stream. I think it'll be fun. Then let's see. So yeah, if we get this, so let's think about what's going to happen. Shinsinto, if it wasn't so worried about the about him calling for violence, if he loses, he melts down. His meltdowns online would be hilarious. Yeah, I agree with you. If we get 270, 268, it will be a mess. He's going to sue all of those blue states anyway. He's going to sue all the states. He's going to sue everything in Pennsylvania and everything in Virginia and everything in Michigan and Wisconsin. He's going to bring 50, 60, 100 more lawsuits. They're going to make things up. You have to be prepared for this. Rudy Giuliani, probably. And who's the JD Vance, and who else is on the right now? Laura Loomer, wonderful nightmare monster, hell muppet that she is, will be on the TV screaming about how it was fake and rigged, and there was a vote dump, and the 1,000 immigrants voted in this little precinct, and 10,000 dead people voted, and there's bamboo DNA inside the ballots, which means that they came from China, and everybody knows that if you write something on a piece of China paper, it comes out spelled wrong. This is just a thing that they're going to say. They're going to claim, they're going to scream, they're going to cry, and that won't work this time. It will have more authority if we're looking at 270 to 268. If we're looking at 270 to 268, there could be a lot of people who are swayed by that. They're going to say, man, it's really close. It is really close. It comes down to exactly one fucking state. So if everything is determined by exactly this one state, it's very close. The people are going to pinpoint all of their conspiracy theories around this state. Dishonest people will create conspiracy theories and spread them through this state. There will be marches, there will be rallies, the Proud Boys will show up, as they have in Springfield, Ohio, past couple of days. And they will claim that everything is crooked and wrong, and they will invent fake news. If we're at 270, 268. If we are at 319 to 219, that's far less likely. If these 4 states vote correctly in Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina for the blue candidate, Kamala Harris will win by 319, 219. She'll win by 100 points. It's far less likely that they will be able to center all of their conspiracy theories. They'll scream bloody murder about how she couldn't possibly have won by 100 points. That's just proving that it was fake. They'll say it. It doesn't have to be real or true or grounded in reality, but they'll say it. And it'll be less believable. That's what I'm getting at. If North Carolina and Georgia come out for Kamala Harris, as I think they are going to, which they might, it makes it very unlikely. It brings down the temperature somehow by her winning bigger. It won't be a nail biter. It won't be close. It'll be done by 11 p.m. on the night of the election. It'll be over. It'll be done. CNN will call North Carolina for blue. CNN will call Georgia for blue. CNN will call Pennsylvania for blue. They're all on the East Coast time zone. It'll be over. There won't even be a chance. The minute Pennsylvania gets called for one team or the other, the show is over. If somehow Donald Trump does win Pennsylvania, but still loses North Carolina, Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, and Nevada, he still loses. So that would cause, again, a little bit of violence, but they would center their conspiracy theory nonsense on these 2 states right here. And that could be a nightmare and unfun to watch. Today I learned Luminar is only 31. Yeah, she is a hell muppet. She is some sort of skin job, ain't she? Like, she belongs in one of those twisted Jim Henson things, like the Dark Crystal, right? Like, she looks like a villain from the Dark Crystal. That's what she looks like. She is a nightmare creature. So yeah, that is what will happen on Election Day. Please come and watch it with me. It'll be a good time. I'll have a great time. I'll have a 6-pack of beer. I'll drink it on stream. We'll watch. We'll see. Everything will happen. We'll be excited, and we'll refresh Twitter every 5 minutes and look at all the numbers. And we'll watch Steve Kornacki do his magic drawing board, because I love watching him do that. I could watch that all day. I thought she was closer to 50 trying to be poorly fight agent. Yeah, she got started on that shit early, which is disturbing. If she were 50, yeah, and fighting against the gravity and time, that would almost make sense for her to look the way she does. She ate dog food on one of her commercials one time. She doesn't have a brain that functions the way your brain functions. Somebody paid her, a sponsor for a dog food ad, paid her and said, hey, here's the stuff you have to say to get the money. And if you take a bite of the food, because it's human grade food for your dog, we'll give you even more. And so she just ate the food on her live stream. Very disturbing. But she doesn't have the part of the brain that has like shame and fear and embarrassment. She hasn't got any of that. It's all gone. It got burned out somehow. I don't know how she burned it out. Or maybe she was just born without it. I don't know. Am I being ableist now? I'm picking on a lady who was born without parts of her brain. Maybe I am. Maybe I should repent. Or I won't, because it's Laura Loomer and I don't care. Let's go over here. Turn there. Bad news. Amber Thurman, first named preventable abortion death. A Georgia woman died after not receiving timely medical care due to the state's restrictive abortion law. Investigative journalism site ProPublica reports Amber Nicole Thurman, 28, experienced a rare complication after taking abortion pills and died during emergency surgery in August 22, according to medical reports obtained by the site. ProPublica said that the case marks the first incident of an abortion-related death that an official state committee deemed preventable has been made public. It said it will soon publish details as a second case. So there's another death. Georgia law banning most abortions after about 6 weeks of pregnancy, labeled the Life Act, took effect on July 20th, 22. Thurman's pregnancy had recently passed the mark where she discovered she was pregnant. She didn't know during those first 6 weeks, so she couldn't go and take care of it. Records shared with ProPublica showed the new law made performing a dilation and curettage (DNC) procedure to remove tissue from the uterus following an abortion or miscarriage a felony offense with medical exceptions, but doctors had warned the law's language was too vague. So the doctors were terrified to do their job, and that caused her to have to wait. And in waiting, she died. Or her system got so bad and so dangerous that once they were allowed legally to try and fix the problem, it was too late, and she's died. This is what happens when Republicans write laws. Stop letting Republicans write laws. Just stop letting them do it. They shouldn't be allowed to write laws. They do not know what the law is. They don't know what it's for. They don't know why it exists. Right-wing conservatives do not comprehend what happened here. They're not even going to care. They're not even going to complain about it. They're just going to say it's made up or say that it's fine and she took an abortion pill, so it's her fault anyway. She needs to be punished. Conservatives just want the law to punish people, to hurt the people they don't like. And they don't like women who take abortive pills. They don't like it. And so they want to hurt those people. They don't like it when women have sex. They need to hurt those people. Comrade Kamala is a radical left communist Marxist fascist. I wish, man. I wish some of that were true. But that's a nonsense statement. I wish she was radical left. She's not. I'm further left than she is. Trust me, she's not a leftist. She backtracked on, what's it called, fracking, because she had heard that she couldn't get elected if she's pushing against fracking in Pennsylvania. So she backtracked on it because she's a wiener. Dems usually are just wieners. Is she a communist? No. Is she a Marxist? No. I kind of wish she was, because I am a little bit of a Marxist, so I would appreciate that, but she's not. Is she a fascist? No. That's the exact opposite side of the spectrum, so you can't be both. It's like, it doesn't even make any sense. It's hot and cold at the same time. Well, you can't have both. It's one or the other. Don't let Republicans make laws. They don't know what they're for, and they don't know why anyone would want them. They just think that the law is intended to harm the people they don't like. They think that the law is to harm their enemies. Sorry, the puppy wants to play, so I have to throw things for him. Yeah, it's just some BS Trump said. Yeah, exactly. Thanks. Yeah. We pay attention to what Trump says, and usually it's horseshit. Doesn't make any sense and doesn't mean anything. He just says stuff. I don't think Donald Trump is comprehending what he's saying. When he says that Kamala's a radical leftist, communist, Marxist, fascist, he's a parrot. He is a gray African macaw like parrot who doesn't know what they're saying. Polly want a cracker? Okay, yeah. Does the Polly, the bird, this parrot that says Polly want a cracker, comprehend who Polly is? Not really. He just knows if he makes that sound, he gets a cracker. So he makes that sound. And that's what Donald Trump does, I think. He just makes the sounds that get him applause and get the people to cheer and get the people to clap and get his handlers and his followers and the people around him, or Laura Loomer, who's giving him BJs, to give him more BJs. He gets the cracker. The parrot doesn't know what it's saying. The parrot isn't speaking English. The parrot can't put together a complex sentence. It just repeats the sounds that it has heard. That's what Donald Trump is doing. He's repeating the sounds that he heard. He doesn't know what a communist is. He doesn't know what a Marxist is. He doesn't know what a fascist is. But he knows that when he says it, he gets applause. The people like him. The people clap for him. And they tell him he's such a smart, stable genius. Senate Republicans losing patience with Johnson as shutdown nears. You guys ready for the next government shutdown? Hooray! It's going to be a great time. So much fun. Shutdowns. Republican senators are fast losing patience with Speaker Mike Johnson's inability to muster the votes to avoid a government shutdown at the end of September. So we're coming, 2 or 3 weeks? And a warning they will take matters into their own hands if the government fails to act by Thursday. Okay, so I'll stream on Thursday. We'll see what's happened, if anything. GOP senators fear Congress may stumble into a shutdown if Johnson can't get a short-term funding measure passed by the end of the week, and are ready to work with Senate Democrats to stave off a potential disaster before Election Day. Unless there's a breakthrough in the House over the next 2 days, the Senate is expected to move first by advancing a bill without any controversial policy riders that would fund the government until mid-December. It's becoming a mess, especially our military. They're suffering. Oh, this is Senator Tommy Tuberville, who is an absolute moron. It's becoming a mess, especially our military. They're suffering. Even if you do a continuing resolution, they don't get the money they'd normally get. This whole thing's a debacle, says Tommy Tuberville. Senate Republicans say Senate Democrats deserve a heap of blame for not moving any of the regular annual spending bills to the floor, despite most of them having already passed through the Appropriations Committee. So, Republicans say a lot of things. I usually don't pay attention to them. It's kind of funny, too, because some legit political ammo there. If he mentions her dad was actually a post-Keynesian economic professor, instead of just saying he taught her. Well, yeah, exactly. He could make that distinction, but his voters don't know the difference between post-Keynesian and a Marxist. They don't. Mike Johnson being ousted would be funny. I would love... I would live stream the next 17 votes to get a speaker. It would be fun. Why are they upset with him? Isn't grinding the government to a halt what they want? Yeah, exactly. But they're not allowed to say that. The Republicans want the government to come to a screeching halt. They're not allowed to say it, though. The 3 branches of the government, Executive, House of Representatives, and the Senate. Well, I don't know about that anymore. The 3 branches seem to be the Supreme Court and the lower courts. And then the executive. Those are the new 3. Supreme Court, appellate courts, executive. Those are the three that get anything done. So let's see. But they're growing increasingly alarmed that Congress may blunder into a shutdown. I read that. Make no predictions on the passage. Blah blah blah. Collins. Oh, this is Susan Collins. Here, let's read hers. I'm making no predictions on passage. They're growing increasingly alarmed that Congress may blunder into a shutdown that hurts their chances of taking back control of the Senate. It's my Susan Collins voice, everybody. Thank you very much. It's quite a challenge I have, I know. It was a real quote from Tuberville. Oh, was it? The three branches of the government? Oh, let me do it in this voice. The three branches of the government are the executive, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. There's Tuberville. Just go to the White House and pass them laws. Yeah, exactly. Trump mentioned that during the debate the other day. Why doesn't he go down to the White House right now and pass those laws? She should go down there to the White House, pass those bills, close the border right now with the bills, pass those bills right now through the House, through the White House. He doesn't know how that works. He really does think that laws are just passed when the president says so. It has to go through the House. It has to go through the Senate. And then the group president can sign it. It's not a law until then. It's just an executive action, which can be overturned by the next executive. Wake up Biden, he's asleep at 4 p.m. Yeah. That's why they couldn't do it during the debate. The debate happened at like 9 p.m. Biden had been in bed for 5 hours already. Is there anything else going on tonight? What else have we got? Okay. Let's do the...
Turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Inferno. You just turned a frog. You just turned a frog gay. I hope you're happy. I hope you're proud of yourself. You just turned a frog gay. You are now a frog sexuality engineer, and I'm proud of you. Well done. Good use of your time. Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, let's talk. Well, I think we already talked about the assassin guy. I like this because it's stupid. Oh no, I also just claimed the Atlanta school shootings were also crisis actors. Yeah, the crisis actors, they're everywhere, folks. They're all over the place. You can't turn a corner without seeing a crisis actor. Trump talks up World Liberty Financial Crypto Exchange, but many questions remain. Donald Trump is now a crypto bro. Not because he understands it, not because it's a good idea or it's financially sound investment. No. He knows a scam when he sees one, and he sees a scam in crypto. He recognizes that people just buy crypto even though it's not a real thing that doesn't exist, and then sometimes some people sell it for more, even though it isn't a real thing and it doesn't exist. And he's got to get in on that. He needs to be in on that grift. He needs to be getting down on the crypto game, or else somebody's going to get that sweet, sweet dosh. Somebody else is going to steal that money. If it's not him, the crypto bros are stealing money. And if Donald Trump isn't also stealing money, he's missing out. It's FOMO, the FOMO of crypto bros. The clip of him being asked about crypto and then starting to ramble about AI was, yeah, he just doesn't know what he's talking about. Doesn't know what any of these things are, but he started a new crypto kind of thing that's gonna be a gigantic, huge scam. I have said many times that crypto is a scam. Cryptocurrency is a scam. Blockchain itself is a tool, and I respect a tool. But if you use that blockchain tool to create a currency, it's a scam. That's just my opinion on it, and I think it proved correct when you look at the monkey pictures. What were they called? They've already gone out of style. What were they? The monkey pictures, whatever the hell they were, the JPEGs that are backed up by the blockchain. Those things were definitely a scam. But crypto, I think, is a scam that will fail eventually. The Bored Ape NFTs, yeah, there we go. Was one of the questions remaining. What the fuck are you talking about? Do you even know what you're talking about? Bored Ape Yacht Club. Yeah. Though that was a scam, and watch Dan Olson, Folding Ideas, very good YouTuber, much better than me, in fact. tear the entire crypto NFT scam apart. He destroys the entire thing. He also tears apart, in my opinion, the entire stock market. But he doesn't go far enough. And I think if we applied his logic to NFTs, to Bitcoin, Bitcoin becomes a scam. And if we apply that logic to the stock market, wait a minute, hold on, slow down. The stock market is proven to be a scam as well. Just my opinion. NFTs were a scam from the onset. Yeah. I think Bitcoin's just as much a scam. I know a lot of, I take shit from it from my real life friends who I tell that's a scam, you guys. But I also suggest that the entire stock market is a scam and money's made up and not real. I'm, again, a leftist. So I don't buy into the economy. I suspect that most of the economy is a religion. Thomas, my right-wing friend, comes on the stream every now and then and tells me about how terrible I am and how I don't understand the economy and I need to take an Econ 101 class. But to me, that sounds like a motorcycle running down the street, being loud and interrupting me. The Econ 101 class sounds to me like, hey, I don't believe in Jesus. Well, you haven't been to church long enough. Have you read the Bible? I got a chatter on the last stream who was telling me that I wouldn't be atheist if I had just read the Quran, and that I should read it so that I won't be, because if I'm in reading it, clearly it'll turn me into a practicing Muslim. And then I suggested to him that it's a fictional book, and he didn't like that. But then he started talking about, and I have no doubt that if I had read it, I haven't read that. I read a lot of the Bible back when I was young, stuff like that. And I've seen quotes, and I grew up in America. So you get, some of the Bible just washes on you. It just happens. But I haven't read if I had read the entire Quran, if that guy had convinced me and I sat down and I read it cover to cover, and then I came back to him and I said, I still don't believe this. What would he tell me? Well, you didn't read it right. You didn't read it properly. Read it again. And this time, believe it. This time, take it into your heart. This time, don't think with your head. No, read the beautiful poetry and feel all of that Quran. And then you'll get it, and then you'll believe it. Well, yeah, that's the problem. I don't believe it. This time, accept it. Yeah, exactly what would happen. And if I went to I feel the same about the economy. If I go to the Econ 101 class, and I say, well, money's not real, we invented it, and we can do whatever we want with it, or the stock market isn't a real thing, what will they say? They'll say, okay, well, you just didn't understand. Take the Econ 101 class again. Become a believer. The economy itself even has different denominations, doesn't it? It has the Keynesians, it has the post-Keynesians, it has the Marxists, it has the the supply side. I forget the name of it. It's not Keynesian, it's the opposite. I forget the name. But it has denominations. It has people who are on board for qualitative easing, and then it has people who hate qualitative easing, and it seems to me, and the economy even has an invisible hand. Bro, if it's got an invisible hand, how is that any different than God doing miracles? The economy has an invisible hand. It's part of a religion. And I recognize that it's still necessary. Have you tried choking on the skin flute before? No, it's not a thing that I would have a good time doing, but tell me about all the times that you've done it. It makes me money. Yeah, well, they believe it because it makes them money. If they put the money in the right place and they say the right things, they benefit. Very similar to religion. If you show up, you say the right things to the right people, and then you have all the people believe the thing, it benefits you. It really does. It gives you a place. It gives you community. If you're the preacher, it gets you paid sometimes. If you're the Vatican, it gets you rich. So it very much seems like the economy is some sort of religion. The organized religion, yeah, exactly, man. They have so much in common. there are people who would argue about things that I think are fiction. If you came into my chat and argued about whether or not vampires sparkled in the sunlight or burst into flames, this is a fun time. I'm on board for that. If you want to argue about Star Wars, man, I am down. Let's throw some theories around. I love it. It's fun. But I know those things are fiction. And I think the trouble is that you religious people are arguing about a fictional book, and they're disagreeing about the vampires and whether or not they sparkle or they burn into flames, or whether or not Jesus was a real person, or if he did this, or if he actually walked on the water, or if the seas parted and that was a natural phenomenon or a miracle that he made happen, all those fun things. It's just a timing thing. Well, because he is weird. Show me your hard drive, very sus looking. No, you're the one throwing accusations, boss. I'm very curious, though, what makes you believe the stock market is a scam? Well, those things don't really exist. The stocks don't exist. They're not real. They are based upon investor confidence. Confidence? If there is a lot of confidence in a company, their stock price goes up. I can't find confidence on the periodic table of elements. I've looked. It's not there. I can't fill that cup with confidence. I can fill it with H2O, which is what's in there right now. H2O, hydrogen, exists on the periodical table. Oxygen appears on the periodic table. If you're lucky, you can find where those two molecules have combined to make water. You can fill your cup with water. You can't fill it with confidence. You can't fill it with investor fear. And that's what happens, is the investors fear that the number is going to drop tomorrow, so they sell today. Does that make the thing less valuable tomorrow? I mean, value itself is an abstract thought process that a human has to go through. There is no value without humans thinking about value and how much a thing is worth. Value is a thought process. Rocks don't have value to other rocks, and no rock has ever told you the value of the rocks around them. Rocks are just rocks, man. They don't move. They don't value things. But like, what about the things the quarter reports, stock prices? That's people valuing things. It's just because investors see the financials in the company and have confidence in profitable the company will continue growth. Yeah, exactly. They feel like it's going to go forward. They feel confident in the new product. They feel good about that advertising campaign. They feel good about the new software launch. They feel like the people at the company have put out a solid product and they are worth that much money. Yeah, and that's all I'm trying to say. Are these things sort of real? Yes. Feelings are real. As thought processes are real. They're complicated and difficult, but I want those things to still happen. But where do we get in trouble? We get in trouble when we start listening to people talk about them. When you go on CNBC. When you go on CNBC on the Squawk Box and watch some giant CEO tell you how much this thing is going to go up or down, and then you buy it or you don't buy it, or you get scared from the words that he said, that's when you get into trouble. That's when the economy starts to become a mess, is when someone tries to predict it or explain it afterwards. There are economists still to this day who would disagree about what caused the Great Depression. If I started to look into the Great Depression, it's a thing that happened in the past. And we still, from an economics standpoint, will get different answers on what caused it. Weathermen predict the weather tomorrow, but weathermen never argue about what the weather was yesterday. Economists do. They are not to be trusted. Economists will predict the future, and then they will lie to you about what the past was if it makes them more money. I think especially if they're on DV. You just cannot listen to them at all, ever. Yes, every single thing an economist tells you is suspect in my eyes, because I suspect that they're lying to make themselves more rich. Kramer is his name, the bald guy that's on the news all the time. He gets in front of the television and tells you anything he wants. And if he's right, he's a genius. And if he's wrong, the system is broken. This used to happen with Glenn Beck. So Glenn Beck, known crazy person, well-known lunatic. I watched his show back in what? When was he on Fox? He was back in 2008, 2009, somewhere around there. But I would watch his show, and he would tell you about the doom. He would tell you about the gloom. He would tell you about the dangers of this country, of the world. Everything is falling apart. Everything is going to shit. Then he would have a commercial break. On that commercial break, what you saw was two types of commercials specifically back then. You saw cashforgold.com telling poor people to trade their gold, their little gold knickknacks, take your gold, right, and sell it to us. You don't need it. What you need is cash. Cash is what's important. Give us your gold. We'll melt it down. We'll sell it to somebody else that's not important, and we'll give you the cash. After that commercial ended was a gold line commercial telling rich people, you don't need cash. God, cash is for poor people. It's for stupid people. What you need is gold. You need to give us your cash, and then we will give you gold. If you give us enough, if you gave them just a little bit of cash, if you called up Goldline and and it's important that you call their number and get their free DVD. Call the 1-800 number, get their DVD. You know who's on that DVD? Glenn Beck. It's his show. And if you watch his show, sell your gold, then call Goldline, get their DVD, you'll get Glenn Beck on the DVD telling you how important it is to own gold. And if you give Goldline a little bit of money, they will give you a sheet of paper saying that you own some gold. They don't give it to you. God, no. They do not give you gold. Ugh, gross. No, they'll give you a sheet of paper promising that you own a piece. If you get up into the higher tiers and the hundreds of thousands of dollars, they'll start sending you gold. Yes, but if you're a poor person, you only gonna get a little bit. They just send you a piece of paper saying you own some gold, and Glenn Beck is on that DVD telling you how important it is to own gold. Then the commercials end, and we get back to Glenn Beck, who's making claims that the country is falling apart, and that on the Goldline DVD, if the country falls apart, you need the gold. That's the only thing that's going to matter anymore. And then he goes onto the TV and tells you that the country's falling apart. He is the source of the chaos. He is the source of the dysfunction. And he will gladly, willingly sell you the solution to the dysfunction. And it drove me nuts when I watched it. I saw it and I started pointing it out to people back then. I didn't have a stream back then. But even my friends around me, I was like, listen, he's like causing the problem and selling the solution. Also, back in the religious ideology, the notion that Jesus would know about the richest country in the world 2,000 years in the future, the societal issues would be prevalent, just ridiculous. Absolutely. I think you're right. I have been an atheist for a very long time. And it seems to me that the Bible is a fictional book. Go to the Discord now for newly minted Waldo gold coins. Now, if you do exclamation points into chat, it will tell me how many Waldo coins you have. So everybody do exclamation points. That's how many Waldo cryptocurrencies you have. CKBP has 10,629 Waldo points. This is a cryptocurrency. It can be sold. Ponathan, you have 1,255 Waldo points. Now, the important bit is, if you take those 1,255 points into a Starbucks and give them $6, they will give you a cup of coffee. I mean, this is true. Shinsendo, there you go, 7,255 points. Good job. if you take your 7,255 points into Starbucks, give them cash money, they will give you coffee in return. And this is a great system. This is a brilliant system. I think this is a fantastic system. Someday I'll do something silly and fun with those points as soon as I get the time. But yeah, it's a cryptocurrency. It's a scam. The Bible to me seems like a fictional book that's no different from Harry Potter. Are there non-fictional things within that book? Of course there are. Harry Potter is fictional, but he goes to London. London's not fictional. Spider-Man, where does Spider-Man live? We all know exactly where Spider-Man lives. He lives in New York City. New York City is real. Spider-Man is not. Emo Waldo's in chat. Whenever I start to ranting about religion, you have to. We put Emo Waldo's in chat. Anywho, the economy seems to me very similar to organized religion. KVP cheered with a bit. Thank you very much. Thanks, KVP. I always like it. You get a little Biden laugh every time somebody's here. So I love it. I think that's delightful. So yeah, what the hell was I ranting about? Oh yeah, do we have any more news? Oh yeah, Trump's pushing crypto. So yeah, before I forget, this is the important part. Well, I got way off topic, but I'm bringing it back. Donald Trump, this is the important bit of the announcement right here. Not just that he's pushing a crypto. Fine, you can push a crypto if you want to. A fifth of the WLFI tokens will be reserved for the project's founding team, including the Trumps, while 17% are set aside for user rewards. Folkman said the remaining 63% of the tokens will be sold to the public. He also urged potential investors to follow the World Liberty Financial on X for more details, which he said will be coming soon. So you can buy some of this currency, but a lot of it is just given to Trump and his family. They're going to pump it up. They're going to take that percentage that they have. They're going to pump it as high as they can. And then they're all going to sell it at exactly the same time so that they can make maximum profit. And then the price will just crash. That's what they're going to do because they are scammers. Donald Trump is a scam artist. He knows a scam when he sees one. I'm not exactly sure what I am. Raised Catholic and attended a Lutheran school through K-8. My family was just Jesuit Catholic and sect of Catholicism. Yep. I've heard of them, though I've never really met them. Really attempts to put you into perspective of being Jesus and how always put others first, being supposedly the one person who never commits sin. Yeah, exactly. 1 second ad. Sorry. Well, KBP, there's no ads over on Kick yet. If I got 50 more subscribers or followers over on Kick, I think that they start getting ads. Just letting you know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Kick doesn't have ads. I don't have any idea. I don't know how anything works. Anywho, what are we talking about? We're talking about Donald Trump is going to pump that crypto as high as he can, and then he's going to bail on it exactly as he's doing in the stock market. This is exactly why he took Truth Social, the very free speech platform, put it on the market so that he could sell the stock. Donald Trump does not want that Truth Social stock right now, but by law, he couldn't sell it. He put it on there. He has to wait a year, which we're probably about halfway through. He's probably got about 6 months left until he can sell every single bit of that stock because he knows it's garbage. He knows it's garbage. He knows this coin is garbage. And when he will profit the most, he will sell it because he doesn't care about the crypto coins. He doesn't care about the freedom of moving your money around. He just wants to make as much money as possible. And since it is a crypto coin, you know what's going to happen? You know who's going to pump up that crypto? Russia. Foreign nations. I suspect Saudi Arabia as well. Saudi Arabia and Russia are going to buy shitloads of the Donald Trump coin to pump that price up for him because they have the money to spend. They have the money to burn. They will pump it up, get it as high as they can, and then when he gives the signal, he sells all his and makes off like a bandit, and then it comes cratering, crashing down to the ground. He will make money, and everyone who bought in after him will lose money. Back now, sorry, I didn't hear a single thing you said about the response to my message. Sorry about that. I never know when they're coming. They do exist. We also have the YouTube chat or the Kick as well. Not YouTube has a worse chat. It takes a lot longer for a chat to be seen, and you can't do text to speech. Sorry about that.
Text.
See how fun that is. You can do exclamation TTS to have the lovely little robot lady read your stuff out to you. But I did read it, and I've never known any Jesuits, but I've heard of them. I'm from Texas, so it was all Baptists, and then or Methodists, depending. They're exactly the same. There is no difference. Don't let anybody tell you there is. Even them, especially them. The lovely lady Canooch will read your stuff out loud if you want. And that, is his plan. Be a scammer. And that makes me nervous because I think other countries will feed into that. We already had Saudi Arabian people buying or paying for hotel rooms and not showing up in the Donald Trump hotels. If Barack Hussein Obama owned a hotel, Sean Hannity would never shut up about it. He would never stop screaming about the hotel that the guy owns, because anybody can come in there and rent a room and not go use the room. It's money laundering. It's free money if you are for sale.
Free money glitch 2024.
There you go. Free money glitch 2024 from the Stream Jedi. Donald Trump owns hotels. The Saudi Arabia government rented those hotels. They purchased nights in those hotels in those very expensive rooms and then never showed up. Saudis are laundering money through esports right now too. Yeah, exactly. They're laundering money through the esports. They're laundering money through Donald Trump's hotels. They're laundering money through crypto scams. And Donald Trump's seen all of those. I swear, if he starts an esport next, that'll be amazing. Accordion hands. It's true. Sorry, Carol Ennis. The text-to-speech still doesn't work on YouTube, but tomorrow I am going to try and get a better robot. Tomorrow, I'm not going to stream tomorrow. I'm just going to try and get a better robot that will work on thing. I've tried the other day and it still didn't work. I'm going to try again tomorrow. I guess I didn't realize it too, but it's insane how involved Russia is in our politics. Jill Stein, for example, is completely influenced by Russia. Yes, she is. If she were a real, properly functioning political candidate, she would be on the ground getting people elected in smaller races. She'd be pushing for town councils. She'd be pushing for mayors. She'd be pushing for school boards. She'd be pushing for state legislatures rather than the federal legislature. She's not even pushing for House members or Senate members. The Green Party does one thing: run for president poorly. They don't do anything else. There's an entire ground game that they're abandoning because they don't want it, because they only care about that one thing, being the president, even like a House seat in a really liberal district. Exactly. She could put all of that money that Russia has given her, no, I'm sorry, that she totally got legitimately and raised through proper fundraising campaigns. And she could get one or two people in the House. She could, but she doesn't, because it's not about that. It's about her being famous. It's about her pissing on the people on the Democrat side. That's what she wants. That is her purpose. And Vladimir Putin sees that. Even before Russia became intimately involved in our elections, the Green Party was just there to shit on the Dems, take a few shots at the Dems, He sees that and he pays them to do it. It's great for them. It's about giving Donald Trump, it's about her giving us Donald fucking Trump. Yeah, she wants to be famous and she wants to be important. And sometimes that takes money. And sometimes that money comes from Russia and she doesn't care. Same for a guy I really liked, Cornel West. I liked that guy. I liked what he had to say when he was on the TV. He was saying things that resonated with me and made sense, and I liked what he was saying. His presidential bid has been a fucking mess. He swapped parties 3 times. He's taken money from a lot of different people, including probably Russians, and it's just not good. Run as a state legislature. Run at a governor level or even like a state senator level, stuff like that. Get your foot in the door and then you'll be on TV. We already know you, cool guy with the cool hair, laundering your money through e-gambling. Yeah, see, here's KVP laundering his money. He recovered a gambling bet of 100. Dude was getting money from Harlan Crow, the Clarence Thomas RV funder. Exactly. The right wing was funding him. The right wing is not really funding Jill Stein. It's mostly Russia, but they do gather some money by being the Green Party. But yeah, you're right. This guy, Harlan Crow, was paying this man to run to shit on the Dems. It's very sad. I wish we had more realistic and integral candidates, people who had integrity, people who will tell you what they're actually thinking, people will tell you what they really do believe and what they're going to push. But you can't have that in a capitalist society. Capital is power. Money is power. You need lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of money to run for anything important in this country. Even small things, the state senates and stuff like that, the state legislatures, those still require quite a bit of money. Not as much as the giant federal campaigns, but they still require a lot. Stein was and West are running on anti-genocide Gaza platforms as well as Just Ridiculous. They are, they'll take votes from the left, the Dem, and then we'll get Donald Trump, and he'll just give Netanyahu the big thumbs up and say, okay, go get them all. Here's some weapons. Blast the place. Ruin the place. Destroy the place. It'll be great. They need to finish. I think that's what he's been talking about. You need to finish this war. It needs to be over. We've had enough. You need to end it. End it now. Get it ended quickly. And and when he says that, what he means is kill them all. And that's what he means for Russia and Ukraine as well. When Donald Trump talks, it would never happen. Well, it would have happened, but when he says I'd have it over in day one, in one day, he's giving up. Yeah, exactly. It would be over in one day. Well, because you would declare Russia the winner and tell them that they won, and then tell Ukraine to give them what they want and give Russia exactly what they want. That would be the end. And JD Vance even said that on the news like 2 or 3 days ago. JD Vance even said so. He said, we'll come to the drawing board. We'll draw a line, make a DMZ. Russia will hold this half of the side of the line. Ukraine will be on that side of the line. And then they promise never to be in NATO. And I was like, oh, well, Russia just wins then. Okay, great. That's your plan, JD Vance. Russia wins. That would be sad. I don't want that to happen. Because Ukraine's our ally. We should be protecting them. We should be defending them. We should be working with them to make sure that they are taken care of. What good is being America's ally if you got a 50-50 chance of having a Republican who will just ignore you and abandon you? Like, America is a really good ally half the time. The other half, they will abandon you immediately. Especially if it costs them money. You might even tell Zelensky that 2019 phone call situation ended differently. They might still be a country. That was a mess. When Zelensky was talking to him, he didn't have a choice. I don't blame Zelensky for doing things the way he did, because the president of America is kind of a big deal. The president of America says, hey, you do me a quid pro quo right damn now. And you're Zelensky. You're like, yes, sir. Quid pro quo. Coming right up. Because they depend on us so heavily. He couldn't take the moral high ground on that one. He still tried to cover Donald Trump in a couple of interviews afterward, but I understand why he did that. He is the person on bottom. He is the underdog. He's the smaller fish in that pond. He couldn't take a swing at the big fish. That makes sense. I understand that. Where did that dog go? The doggy. Okay, he's over there. He's not bothering me at the moment. So let's see. That's about it for me tonight. I'm about to call it off. If you would like, you can hop into the Discord to leave links to stories. Obviously, Crimea had happened already, but that also was clearly scared of a Russian invasion. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Crimea thing already happened. That happened during Barack Obama, but we couldn't do anything about that, and we couldn't do anything about it because we wasted all our political capital. We wasted all our moral high ground points on Iraq and Afghanistan. We'd wasted it. The American people did not want to defend the Crimean Peninsula in Ukraine. We'd never heard of it, and we were still busy neck deep in the Middle East. So we couldn't take care of that. Sorry, that doggy wants to play. So because of that, we couldn't do the right thing. We couldn't do the appropriate thing that we were supposed to do. Look at him. Adorable little doggy. Look at him. I'm about to sign off for the night. I appreciate all the people who came in. I appreciate all the new followers and the bits there, KVP. Thank you very much. It's Inferno. I appreciate you coming in. Thanks for coming over. Wasted our 21 war crimes and war whoops on means international investment. Yeah, exactly. We wasted all the goodwill that we had. And so the American people didn't want to go forward. And I comprehend that. I know that they were weary. They were war weary. I understand that. Hop into the Discord right here if you want to leave links, and I will take those links. And the next time I'm on, which will be Thursday night, 7 o'clock PST, West Coast time, I will bring up all the day's super important headlines. Anything you put into the Discord, I'll bring up and we'll look at. We'll look at the links. We'll feel it all together. Had a really good, fun time with it. Have a good night. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming. This is exactly what I'm doing, trying to do here. Leave links. And if you want to watch old videos or old streams, you can do that at the YouTube link right there. So YouTube, all of the live streams are there. All of the game streams are there. Any good bits, any good sections that I have, like the one I did tonight at the very beginning when we made up lies about JD Vance. It was a good time. We'll turn into an individual video, and I'll cut out all the uhs and the ums and the weird dog interruptions, and turn it into a more proper YouTube video. Thanks, Ponathan. I appreciate you being here. I'll be back on Thursday night. Cheers, Waldo. Thanks, Carolinas, for being here. I appreciate it. I will be back on Thursday night, 7 o'clock, West Coast, Best Coast time. And if anything important happens, hop into the Discord and tell me about it. That'll be it for me tonight. Thank you very much. And I will see you on Thursday. Goodbye.